Hey guys.
Hello everyone.
We have so many people that call us and they're so intrigued with our new construction because there's new construction everywhere. But today we're going to dive into the pros and cons and you decide what's best for you. Do you want the shiny new or do you want the resale that has charm and character to it?
Yeah, so today we're going to dive into that exciting world of buying and talk about some of these tricky challenges and exciting perks that are offered.
Yeah, so you don't want to miss this. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. You know, buying new construction and resale homes each come with their own set of advantages and disadvantages. The decision ultimately depends on your preferences, your budget, individual circumstances. So that's why we're going over some of the pros and cons for each option.
Okay, so now we're going to start with the pros for new construction. And what do a lot of people look for when they're doing new construction?
Customization.
Yeah, the customization is really important to many of you out there. And what does it allow you to do? It allows you to pick the elevation. It helps you with the design of the cabinets, flooring, cabinetry. So you get to really make the place look like you dreamed about.
Yeah, sometimes we have people that say, I only want white cabinets or I want a certain type of flooring. This allows you to customize your home the way you want. And when you talked about elevation, you know, sometimes the builders have at least 4 choices of the way the front of the home looks. And the other thing to know is if you have in a new construction community, if you have 3 of the same homes all in a row, same models I should say, then you can't pick the same elevation as your neighbor. So sometimes it's good when you get in early, then you get to be the first one to pick which elevation you want. And that could be what roof line,
The way the
pitch.
windows are, you know, different things like that. But remember, all these different choices help or change the price points that you're going with
Yes.
as well. So you would be increasing price points in a lot of these circumstances.
Right. In a world of technology and all the things that we have available to us, another thing that you get in some of the new homes is the smart technology.
Yeah, you know, from the smart homes, you know, the doorbells and the ability to control things. Well, you're not there from garage doors to unlocking the front door. That's just a big part of these new constructions.
It's kind of energy efficient too, right?
Right.
So you can control your thermostat. Say you're at work all day and you don't need it to be blasting cold air all day long. You can control that and then set it as you come home so it's comfortable when you get home.
Even the new up-to-date appliances are energy efficient.
Yeah, and they're cost savings. So LED lights, you know. So there's so many things now that the new builders are offering to help you with your energy bills. So that's a real perk.
Yes, it is. Okay, so now let's talk about warranties for our new construction. That's a big part because when you buy the home, the builder will cover warranties anywhere from 1 to 10 years, just depending on what we're talking about. You know, structural, appliances.
Now, usually the 10-year is the structural, so anything that's going wrong with their foundation or the stucco or things like that, that's your structural. And the 1 year is usually your appliances. Now, some builders give you a little bit longer and, you know, it all depends. So these are things that we have to discover when we're going to different builders, what they offer.
Of course, you get different or extended warranties from the manufacturer a lot too, so it just builds on top of that.
Yeah, and we've even seen if you register within so many days of buying new construction, sometimes they extend your warranty.
I think they almost double it.
Yeah, not all of them. So these are things that we explore while we're exploring the new communities.
Okay, now we're going to follow the warranty with low maintenance. Because everything's brand new, there's less maintenance that you're going to have to do on the house, especially in the early years. Saves you time and money.
Yeah, that's important to a lot of people. Let's talk amenities. I think that's one of my favorite things. You know, every time a new community goes in, I'm like, what are your amenities? Some have pools and cabanas, some have clubhouses with gyms and parks, dog parks. There's a lot of different things out there that we're seeing.
Yeah, a lot of the new communities have these really exciting bells and whistles that just draw you in because it makes you feel like you're on vacation. With
I
a lot
know,
of
especially
things.
when you're in Florida, you see the palm trees everywhere. So amenities definitely make a difference. Construction.
All right, the last pro for new construction that we wanted to talk about is the incentives that the builders offer. Now, these incentives are changing day to day, week to week, month
I
to
think
month.
we get tired trying to figure it out because we can't. I don't even think the sales reps can figure it out.
Each builder is different, of course, but they offer money towards closing costs, money towards interest rate buy downs, money towards design. So it really all depends about supply and demand. The less supply they have, it seems the less incentives they offer for sure.
But sometimes if it's in the end of their fiscal, end of their quarter,
End of a month,
or end of a phase, sometimes you seem to get a little bit more. So it really all depends.
being in the right place at the right time happens a lot of times.
Right. So these are things that we have to constantly check on. And we don't publish them because they always change. So it's kind of like a need to know, okay, I'm ready to go out and start my search, what's happening and what are the builders giving me today.
And that's what we're here for, is to find out what's going on with them for the time frame that you're looking for. All right, so we've talked about all the pros for new construction. Now let's talk about the cons. First one we wanted to bring up is higher costs.
Yeah, price per square foot for new construction is definitely higher than resale. You know, when you go through resale, of course, it's all in one, all inclusive. You know, you're paying for the lot, everything is included. But when you go new construction, you're paying for the land separately. And we see prices anywhere from 0 lot premiums, and when I say 0, it's usually so limited and in the very, very beginning of a development and not a great lot. So you can, we've seen it go over 180,000. That's just for the lot. That's not included the base price of the home. So when you start adding all these things in.
So with the lots, you're paying for the location, the view, whether it's a water view, whether it has maybe some elevation where you're seeing some vistas or conservation, and back to back. So there's all corner lots, pie-shaped lots, cul-de-sacs. These all factor into the cost that you pay for the land.
And not only that, it's size of your lot. So we've seen as little as a 30-foot lot all the way up to over 70-foot lots. So that's going to be, adding to your cost as well. And when we say back-to-backs, we're talking about you're going out of your back door and then you're seeing your neighbor's back door. So, your backs are both facing each other.
I also wanted to qualify, I wish we did see a lot more of those 70-foot lots. That's not the usual.
It's not the usual. We're seeing 40 common, 50 common, maybe the 60, 65 for the bigger homes. So, welcome to Florida.
All right, the next con for new construction is that there's limitations on the availability of new construction. We keep saying we wish there was more and more neighborhoods for people to be able to choose from, but there are not as many as we would like. That's the best way to say it.
We keep reading, and hearing about new builders coming through, but it takes time for them to get started. And we've seen, builders say, hey, we're coming soon, we're gonna be here. And this was as of last year, and some of them haven't even started yet. So you are very limited, and as new builders phase out because they're done with that community, new builders come in, but it's limited on where you can go.
And a lot of times we'll see these areas that are just dirt, or dirt's being moved around and nothing's going on as they're doing infrastructures. And you don't know how excited we get when we actually start to see neighborhoods forming and sales start happening. And then, so we just it's almost like we're birthing these neighborhoods because we get to see them from start to completion.
And some of the limitations are getting county permits, city permits, and all those things. So all that takes time. And I think because of all the growth in Central Florida, there's probably a backlog.
Really?
Wouldn't you
Yeah,
say?
I would say, but when they form or they come about, we bring them to you.
Yes.
All right, our next con for new construction is construction delays.
Oh my goodness, this is probably a big one. We have people, they're selling their homes. The builder said, your house will be done 8 to 12 months. Maybe you'll be done in February. So they're planning for all of this and to find out that it's still another 2 months out.
Yeah, and each builder is different. The delays can be, labor related, it can be material related. They could get all the materials they need for one thing and something else comes along, so you just never know. It could be, county or city related too in terms of permitting. So there's all these different things. Or inspections, yeah. So there's all these different things that can cause delays, and some of the times the things go according to schedule, but you got to plan for these delays.
You have to know that it's never going to be perfect. And even like when you're going through your final walkthrough, a lot of times it's still not perfect, and you're closing anyway with a punch list saying, okay, we're going to take care of a few of these things. Because when a builder is ready to close, they're ready to close. So unless you're getting a spec home, if you get a spec home, then you're closing pretty.
It's well along in the process.
They're pretty on target for in a spec home. It could be 4 months out, 2 months out, 3 months out, and you're ready to buy. But there's a lot of people coming here and they want to build from dirt. They want to be able to pick out their designs. They want to be able to,
Because remember, in a spec home, everything's picked out for you.
Right. So you have no choices there. But just know, by building from dirt, you have to kind of add in some time just in case of delays. But we also have people that come here that they're not ready to move here yet. They want to build from dirt, knowing that they're not going to be here for another year or so, or maybe
So it works out perfect for them.
So that works out great, but they know they're locking into today's price, and that's huge for a lot of people. So let's go ahead and get our house picked out, our pricing. And another good thing about that, if they're not ready, you kind of omit some of the building construction in the area. So maybe your street's already done, but they've moved down the road, building some other areas.
Yeah, so there's not as much construction on your street, because by that time, because a lot of houses start up at the same time, everybody's sort of in the same boat. Everything's getting finished up the same. Even though there's still construction going on in your neighborhood, your street's starting to get finished.
Yeah, and I do want to touch on something else too. So when people come down here and they're ready to buy, they want to build from dirt, they want to pick out their lots. Well, there's a lot of builders not releasing a lot of lots at this time. They have to catch up. There's a lot to catch up. So the frustrating thing is, you're ready to buy a lot. It's not released yet. You've picked out where you want to be, but by the time they release it, there could have been another price increase. You can't lock that in. So you're kind of like at the mercy of the builder.
Yeah, you don't get the price until they release it.
The lot.
So yeah, the price just doesn't sit there and wait for the lot to be released.
And sometimes they know that, right? They know that. We just had one in July that they said we can't release anymore until the 1st of August, but we know the 1st of August we're going up $8,000. Regardless if you had a buyer ready to buy at the end of July. So these are some of the things that you kind of know that you may be involved in when you're buying new construction.
Yeah, and there's different places that they might increase it. It could be the lot premiums, it could be the base price. You just never know where those increases could take place.
Right.
All right, so the next con for new construction sort of follows what we were just talking about, is the
incomplete surroundings.
Yeah, the development just isn't complete. So a lot of the things that you're looking for, from the street having construction going on to it, to the amenities not being done yet.
And it really depends what phase they are in the community. So if you get into a brand new community, they're just starting out, you do get some really good prices doing that. However, you don't have the pool yet. You don't have the amenity center that they offer, and that could be another year out. So you're getting in there and your surroundings are not complete. You also you don't have the beautiful big trees that, you know, that you get in the older.
But it is Florida, and things do grow fast. So you
Fast.
see lawns come together, trees start to grow, bushes grow. You know, so I think that part comes together pretty quickly just because of the beautiful weather that we always have here.
Yeah, and depending what part of the phase they're on, you do have to go through the growing pains of construction trucks going through there. They're still building, so there's a little more traffic going on, but it's just part of buying a new house.
Yes, it is. All right, now's the time to talk about the pros for resale. A big thing about resale is that you have an established neighborhood.
Yeah, give you some examples. We've always talked about Highland Ranch. I love the canyons. Well, that's resale now. You cannot buy new construction in there.
Yeah, that's all done.
And when I say you're driving through this community and you're on top of the hills, you have beautiful vista views,
A lush landscape,
and great amenities. It's already there for you. So if you're lucky enough to get a resale in there, then, you know, because they just finished building, but they've been building for a few years. So I mean, we do see resales here and there. But then there's other really great communities that are gated. Some people really want a gated community. We have some beautiful gated communities around the area. So
Right.
everything is already done for you. Your amenities are done. You know, you get all the lush landscaping, like you said. So it's ready, right?
Yeah, it sure is. All right, the next pro for buying resale is
Negotiating.
yes, you have the ability to negotiate. Now, it really depends on the neighborhood and what's actually coming on the market. But, you know, we actually see people negotiating price and terms.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like new construction. Resale tends to sit a little bit longer because it seems like everybody that comes in thinks that they're going to all get brand new. So it does sit a little bit longer. However, you could get some great deals and you can negotiate, and you're not paying these up charges for your lots and, you know, all these extra things in the home.
And there could be circumstances that a seller has where they need to
Transfer,
maybe
right?
get out a little bit quicker. So it's just being at the right situation at the right time.
Sometimes we have people that have come here like an investor and they bought in the beginning of the community and they're ready to move on and do something different. So, you know, that's another good thing. It's like maybe you could get into one of the new communities as a resale because now that investor is selling. You just have to beware though. Sometimes I think they want more than really it's worth.
You know, sometimes people have false expectations of what they can get for their property.
Especially when they just close and then they're flipping it immediately.
And sometimes it does take a little time for them to realize that they have to come back to reality, basically.
Right. So that's another deal. Like if you're coming here, you want something new, and there's a resale in the community that you'd like to be in, and an investor is now flipping it over, and now you have a beautiful, ready to move in home.
Pretty much a brand new home.
Brand new home.
Yeah.
Still, you can negotiate. There's still negotiating power. It's just what is somebody worth, you know, feel like they're going to do. So.
Okay.
All right.
All right. The next pro for resale is that you know the place has some history. That you really know the area, you'll know what it's about, and you can do your research and know exactly if
you know
it's what
people are going to talk.
Yeah,
right?
you can know if it's exactly what you want. And these older communities have what we like to call a little charm, and you know they're established. You know, from the mature trees to just the neighborhoods all together already.
Right, and you can get a feel when you're driving through them, and it's already established. Is this a place that I could see myself living? Is this the neighborhood?
Right.
So, you know, it's hard to tell when you see all this new build going on. But when you go to a resale, you feel the way neighbors are taking care of their lawns, you know, or you know, all the maintenance issues, or people just letting their houses go. It gives you a sense of security as to what you're getting into.
Right, you go and you get that feel for the neighborhood, and you know if it's something that you like the way it feels, really.
Right. So that's a pro to us.
All right, now that we've talked about the pros for resale, let's talk about the cons. The number one thing that a lot of people think about is the maintenance on the home. That, you just don't know with an older place, what could go wrong, or what, something's aged and needs to be replaced. But
you don't have that 10-year structural warranty, on the home.
Right.
And if you get into a home that they haven't done anything to it, sometimes you run into problems even getting homeowners insurance, because if the roof is old or the water heater is
Right.
old, that's an issue.
And in the back of your mind, you have to add those costs, knowing that down the road, not really knowing when, that you're going to have to put money into it and replace it. Of course, we encourage or want you to have home inspections when you're purchasing a home, so you get a feel of
What's truly happening with
right,
the house.
the condition that everything's in. But that, the maintenance aspect is something that has to be a concern
But
for
don't
resale.
let that scare you for resale, because we do see older homes that they've totally renovated. They have a new roof, they have new mechanicals, the HVAC system.
Yeah, the year that it was built doesn't reflect what the home looks like inside.
Right.
It looks like a totally brand new home.
Right.
A lot of times we get pleasantly surprised when we see that.
Right, so could be an option.
Okay, the next con for resale, and it sort of piggybacks on what we were previously talking about, is outdated fixtures, outdated appliances, just things that are a little bit older and not like the brand new shiny things that you find in new
But those
construction.
are the times you can get a good deal, right?
Right.
Because you're pricing it accordingly. I mean, you may want something that you can put your own touches to. You may want, if sometimes people put in different appliances and that's really not the appliances that they want. So when you get something that's older and it needs to be, changed up and updated, that's when you put your own touches. We've seen some gorgeous older homes that's what they did. They bought it and it looked like better than some new homes.
Right, and it's having the vision. I mean, when you go in a place and you see old flooring or old appliances, know what you can do with it. That's why you're getting a good deal on the price, and then you know that, hey, you can make it, as Shirley said.
Take all that carpet out,
You can
replace it with some beautiful wood tiles.
You can make it your own,
Yeah.
and you just have to have that vision. So is it a negative? Maybe not so much if you get a great price, right? All right, the last con that we have for you for resale is the lack of or limited warranties, right?
Right. I mean, you can buy a home warranty for your home, when you purchase a resale, but you're not having that 1 year, 5 year, 10 year that the builder's giving you.
All the brand new home warranties are done with by then, and you're just having to work with the home as it is and knowing that things do run out
Yeah.
and need to be fixed.
And if you buy a newer resale, sometimes those warranties will transfer over, but you do need to find out exactly what transfers over. Maybe not the whole warranty. So those are things that we would need to look into if you're buying a newer resale.
Thank you for joining us today on our conversation about the pros and cons of new build versus resale.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about. I mean, it's going to come down to your budget, where you want to live,
Right.
the area. Do you want to customize? Do you want to go brand new? Are you okay with resale? Do you want to renovate? I mean, there's a lot of variables.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about, but hopefully today we gave you some thought on both the pros and cons of each, so you gotta figure out what fits your situation best.
And if you're thinking of moving to our area, call, text, or email us. We would love to have a phone conversation. If you want to have more discussion on what we've talked about today, just let us know. We'd love to sit down and have a phone conversation or meet in person.
And we always want to make sure that you know how much we appreciate you. We thank you for watching our videos, and we're going to have another one coming to you soon.
Yeah, so you don't want to miss it, and we'll see you soon.